Nuance with Nikki. How you guys doing? I've been missing you guys. For those that don't know, I told myself like now that school holidays are over, I've got to be focusing on the kids at school. I've got to be focusing on my other YouTube channels. Um, I'm not going to be on Nuance with Nikki as much. It'll be on an as needed basis. Something has to annoy me enough or excite me enough, right? Ish, but I found something that excited me today. We've got a new Mrs. World! And I feel so good about it. You know, guys, usually, long before all this rubbish, when I thought about South African victories, they were just South African victories. They weren't white South African or black South African or orange South African. Do you get what I'm saying? But I've been really hurt by how disrespected our black South Africans have been. And a couple of us have felt that way too. Those of us who are either black but not South African but not black. You know the usual suspects, Lily and Chacha, Uncle P, Just Chizzy and me. We've been here. And so, I do my Black Excellence Tuesdays. I'm somewhere doing this one now on a Sunday. I think I'm going to, we'll see when I choose to post it, okay? So for the most part, I'm only focusing on the Black Excellence Tuesdays. I sometimes pre-record them so that I don't have to think about them or forget, and they'll be there. They were given to me by my beloved follower, Victoria. But guys, I just heard on Facebook that we have a new Mrs. World. I went to go look her up. She calls herself Mrs. G. That's Chekhokhayele. I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. But I guess it's recent, so there's not that much footage. I have not seen her crowning moment, so... Because, when you guys came for our people, I suddenly became a pageant expert. But, yeah, it's not necessarily something that I've followed, you know? But I'm ready to sit and enjoy the moment, the crowning moment. And I'm so proud of you, Mrs. G. Yeah, she's so classy and so elegant. So I'm obviously happy just to have a Miss South Africa, a Mrs. South Africa as Mrs. World, of course. That's right, the Hardy does agree. Tell them Hardy does. I was like, yeah! But because of the disrespect specifically over the last few months to our black people, I'm kind of happy it's a black one as well. Okay. So let's gooi. Yep, I had a nice nap. Didn't even comb my hair, if you're wondering, before coming to see this. I was too excited. Tell them Hardy does say I don't owe you combed hair. I'm just here to say the beauty is most on screen. What do you want from me? Let's have a look at the moment. I can't wait.
That she's about to take that final walk.
Absolutely.
She's had so many tremendous experiences this last year, seeing her on the Olympics. I was waiting for her to compete, but, and it's been incredible. And I think, every one of the Mrs. Worlds that's here with us tonight and who have had that crown have set a new standard for the women who followed her. And I think Julia definitely fits in that.
Absolutely. Well said, my friend.
Yes. But before, it does that, I'm going to give you guys one last chance to say who you think the next Mrs. World is. Okay.
Who?
I know, I can't hear them.
Let's let them know we're still out here. These ladies have been working hard all night. Let's hear it for them.
Well, and I think our judges are ready. And I think now it's just all we have to do is wait for Julia and take that final walk. But I do want to take a moment in advance to thank the judges for their work, because you've done a tremendous job. Whoever, it has to be very, very difficult. And I know that whoever you've selected is going to do a fantastic job. And once again, to all 40 of the beautiful women who were here competing, each one of them will go back and represent their country, and I'm sure they will do phenomenal work. But at this time, it's time to welcome our reigning Mrs. World, Julia Schnell, as she takes her final walk.
Wondering if you ever could be loved.
She's beautiful.
And if they truly saw your heart, they'd see too much. You're beautiful. You're beautiful.
She truly is beautiful. You know what I find interesting? Obviously, when I was younger, I didn't care so much about the idea of Mrs. World. But actually, in watching Mrs. G's page, I'm just like, You know, those women have husbands and children to handle as well as careers, and they're khoying out here. Yo, this is the current reigning. Okay, her final walk.
Praying that you have the heart to fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, Julia Schnell, Mrs. World, congratulations and thank you. And now, let's welcome back to the stage our top 3 finalists. Ladies. Let's bring our top 3 finalists out. Mrs. South Africa. Mrs. Sri Lanka.
Ooh, beautiful.
And Mrs. Thailand.
Ooh, they're all gorgeous. Did you hear what I said? They're all gorgeous. You can actually clap for other people, ne? You can. They're beautiful.
All right.
Tell them, Hadida. Wow, look at
Take a
how
deep
girl
breath.
stands. My face better not
One
be
of you
coming
ladies is about to become the 40th Mrs. World. We're going to start with our second runner-up. Our second runner-up is Mrs. Thailand.
Love that dress.
Now, ladies, come on, get a little closer. Come on.
I don't think I could rock
Ladies,
that dress,
one
but
of
she's
you will be
rocking
the
it.
First runner-up.
Ooh.
The other is going to be our new Mrs. World. As you all know, if for any reason our crowned Mrs. World is not able to fulfill her obligation, the first runner-up would take the title. Good luck to you both. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to announce the first runner-up first, and I want to thank and congratulate our first runner-up. And our first runner-up is Mrs. Sri Lanka.
Look at her face. Look at her face.
Mrs. South Africa, you are the new Mrs. World.
Look at her face, guys. Ah, that is amazing. Wow.
Now, this is the last time I'm going to refer to you as Mrs. South Africa, because once she puts that crown on your head, you will become the 40th Mrs. World. Mrs. World, it's time to take your first walk. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for our brand new Mrs. World, Seho Hailai of South Africa.
Seho Khalai. Sorry, Khaela.
You are so beautiful.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
To me, you are.
You know what I loved so much about it is like how she couldn't believe it, and just like her humble response. You could just see her spirit in that moment. She's like, wait, what? And just like that thanks was just so genuine. Look at her face. Oh. Wow, we're proud of our girl. We're so proud of our girl. You know, guys, I actually did come here to gloat. I did actually initially mean to gloat, you know, because, look, the way I know Black South Africans, they won't gloat about stuff. They just accept their victory. You know, they'll enjoy it, but they won't gloat like certain, yeah. And they won't be petty. So I was like, yeah, I can be petty. I'll be, you know. But there's something about Tsecho, like she's so, you know, I went to go watch her YouTube channel just for a few seconds, you know, and there's something about her energy that is so humble and just so classy. Like, I don't even feel I can be petty on her behalf. I don't feel like she'd like that or something, you know. But she's a lawyer, a real one, a Miss South Africa, a real one, a winner, a real one, because that's how it's done. That's how it's done. She has a 2-year-old. She's got a 4-year-old. She's got a 4-year-old and she's out here making Miss World. Yeah? Mrs. World. Hi, bo. Listen, she's kicking everything and taking names. Because if it was a 2-year-old 2 years ago, it's now a 4-year-old. Hi, bo. My. Wow. Okay, guys,
Hey
sorry.
welcome to my
I have to stop here. I've worked in 5 countries with children, right, over 20 years. That is a well-loved child. I've worked with parents and children for years. That is a well-loved child. The measure of a person for me is the look on their child's face. You see, I used to be an on-set childminder as well, so I had to learn to read families and read people very, very fast. Wow, guys. Like, yes, of course I can respect her for being a lawyer. Of course I can respect her for being Mrs. World. But can I just tell you, as someone who's been an on-set childminder, children's theatre actress, a nanny and au pair, what else have I been? A drama coach for children. I used to do easily 10 schools or more a week, across hundreds of schools, and I train other people to do that. That is her biggest accomplishment, guys. Look at the joy in that child's face. Look at the confidence in that child's face. Wow.
Hey guys, welcome to my first YouTube channel. So I've had like a bit of a brainstorm session with my colleagues, and we've come up with this idea of me having a YouTube channel, and the content of my channel is literally the name of my channel. Motherhood realities, okay? It's not always as fun and games and as easy as it looks. It's not like fabulous. You know, you make choices that you are basically bound by. So we're just gonna go around, follow my life as a mother, as a working woman, as a wife, as a colleague, as a sister, and I'll be sharing all of that and how.
Wow, guys. You know, she's actually so introverted, and yet she's running a YouTube channel. Beautiful, classy, intelligent. I actually couldn't ask for a better Mrs. World. Mrs. G, I am so proud of you wherever you are in the world. I just want you to know that real recognizes real, and I recognize a mother in you. More than anything else, a mother. But a go-getter. You've actually inspired me. And I just want to thank you. I really do. Thank you so much. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, guys, this has been Nuance with Nikki, with a lot of nitty-gritty, a lot of pretty nitty-gritty, our pretty Mrs. World. Congratulations, Seho, and thank you so much.